you are working with people who are looking for a job, for a career. They're starting new things, so it's all about new and exciting, which is a lot of fun. Recruitment was the one thing that I always really loved to do, um, and I was good at it, and so it kind of made sense to me at this point in my career that I would look to specialize.
Good morning. So today I have Kurt with us, who's all about creating a culture of excellence. He is all about elevating organizations through strategic leadership. Kurt has a lot of experience when it comes to recruitment and workforce planning, and he knows how to make teams that are diverse, who work well together, and whose differences can coexist in the best way possible. Let's welcome Kurt on 10 Minutes of Hiring Wisdom. Hi, Kurt. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. How was your weekend? Did anything fun?
It was excellent. We finally got some sun here, so we spent Sunday outside, so it was good.
That sounds good, Kurt. So let's get down to business. Kurt, you've had a lot of experience when it comes to recruitment, workforce planning. With your extensive experience when it comes to supporting diverse teams, can you share some of the best strategies that you have placed to ensure that you attract the best diverse talent?
Well, I mean, I think the critical thing is, or things are certainly a wide outreach. Really, recruitment's a marketing function, so you have to think about who your ideal candidate is, who your target audience is, and market towards them. And with some of the roles that I've worked to support, we have a very diverse talent group. I mean, there's really anybody could do our job. So it's really having marketing plans and strategy built to reach those people wherever they happen to be.
Oh, well, okay, no, that makes sense. But I think I'd be curious to know, because you've been in this space for quite a while, Kurt, what is one thing that you absolutely love about your job, and what is one thing that just makes you like, oh, I wish I did something else?
Uh, this job, for me, this is well, there's a number of things, but it's a sales job. So from an HR perspective, I think recruitment is the most fun of the HR specialties. You are working with people who are looking for a job, for a career. They're starting new things, so it's all about new and exciting, which is a lot of fun. It's also a lot of fun to fill roles and help the organization um, get the people they need and the skill set they need to support the organization. There's nothing better than when you hear from a manager, "Oh, stop! I don't need any more. I'm full." Best thing in the world. When that happens, and certainly I've had that a number of times in my career where we've had groups we've supported that have been very challenged. They're not only short actual heads or numbers of people, but the skill sets aren't there, and that's a critical piece. I mean, you can always get bodies to fill a role, but finding the right one, the skill set that works, the that works, within the team, that can work into the team and function in the team, that culturally is a fit, is a critical piece, and that's really what I like to focus on. Um,
Okay.
Something that I don't like, honestly, nothing. In recruitment, I mean, there are some challenges, but there's always challenges. There's nothing that I roll my eyes and go, oh, I don't want to do this. I've never had that happen in recruitment. It's always been a fun thing for me to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, that sounds amazing, because I think some people always have something where they're like, I wish I could have changed that. But you mentioned something that's very important, which is that, I mean, you can always find bodies to fill, but essentially the skills are what's something that's important. Because at the end of the day, if you find someone who can't do the job, it'll just be a problem for not only the candidate, but also for the team. Because you bring in someone with so much effort, so much time, and so much money, and then if it doesn't work out, it's a loss-loss situation in both cases. So thank you so much for sharing that, Kurt. Kurt, I think my next question for you would be is, since the pandemic, we've seen highs and lows. At one point, the hiring market was absolutely amazing. Candidates were readily available. Then we saw companies started laying off people. Candidates were excessively available in the market. So how do you ensure, as a leader, to make sure that the momentum, the motivation of your team remains high throughout, especially through the downs?
Good question. So we haven't really seen a downturn. Um, I mean, the market's been there's a lot of churn, so there are a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of candidates. I think for me and for us, it's really um, focusing on those wins. As I said, recruitment is a marketing and sales job, really. So you're not only focusing on numbers on sales, so you have numbers to hit. You've got numbers to fill, roles to fill. You've got time. There's a lot of metrics in recruitment that don't exist in other places in HR. So that makes it easier. I think to motivate people. With my team, we celebrate wins all the time. So we're constantly talking about roles that we filled. We've actually won this morning at my team huddle this morning. We had a director position filled that's been open for about 40 days, and it's a really critical role. And we've got an offer out to candidate who's accepted it. So, wins like that, we share, we celebrate, and really that's how I think. We keep people motivated, and I keep my people motivated. And we've had good success. We've filled roles. We see progress from where we were, say, last year. So it's one of the nice things about recruitment because it is metrics driven. You have metrics that you can rely on. So.
I think numbers always help to quantify and visualize. And I think at the end of the day, if you're like, we filled XYZ number of positions and these were the people that help with it, I think it always helps in putting into things into perspective. That at the end of the day, you're making a difference, not only in the candidate's life, but also for the company, because you're bringing in people who believe in your purpose, who believe in your vision, who want to contribute to that. So thank you so much for sharing that, Kurt. Kurt, I have two other questions. One would be centered around what got you into recruitment. I've spoken with over 200 to 300 recruiters, hiring managers who say that they fell into it. What was your experience like? Was it an active choice, or was it something that you just decided to give it a shot and you decided to stay with it? What was your reasoning?
Well, I decided to specialize in recruitment about a year and a half ago or so. Prior to that, I was an HR generalist. I was in a director level roles for a number of years. Um, Really with the whole spectrum of HR responsibilities. And I, you know, I always liked recruiting. I've been recruiting as part of my HR profession for almost 25 years. It was always part of what I did. But as I went through my career and had different roles, recruitment was the one thing that I always really loved to do. And I was good at it, and so it kind of made sense to me at this point in my career that I would look to specialize a little more. And that's what I decided to do. I mean, how I got into HR, I kind of fell into HR, but that was a long, long time ago. But certainly, recruitment. I made that choice. It became apparent that recruitment is where I wanted to be, and so specializing in it, kind of made sense. I have a lot of other experience, generalist experience, so I have, payroll, comp and ben, HRIS. I have a lot of other experience, so this was a nice way, I think, for me to, spend my time in something that I have a real passion for, that I'm good at, and that I can make a difference in. So it like I said, it's a very positive, um, fun specialty, and it's one that I chose. I think some people get into it, especially young and career people. Um, they often start in recruitment. If you're just coming out of school with an HR degree, that's usually where you start, because recruitment is a good place to learn systems, processes, people. You spend a lot of time with people. You talk on the phone a lot. You talk on videos a lot. You interview people. So, from an HR perspective, it's a good place to start. Plus, which it's a very process driven specialty. So, if you don't really know what you're doing, you don't have a lot of experience. There's a process there you follow. If you do this and this and this and this and this, you'll come out with a candidate at the end. Not saying that you know you'll find the best one, but there's a process for you to follow. A lot of HR disciplines, there aren't necessarily processes to follow, so they're a little harder to learn. So.
Okay, no, I think that makes sense. I think I can specifically understand why you would like recruitment, because I think Matrix help puts things in perspective, and especially because you're a very process driven individual, I think it makes sense that you decided to specialize in that. So Thank you so much for sharing that, Kurt. Kurt, last question. You mentioned that you filled out a position, director level position, which was open for the last 40 days. What other positions are you hiring for? So people are looking for jobs. They know what to seek for.
We actually have everything. I've got everything from, I've got entry level roles in, our food and nutrition, environmental services. We have opportunities right now in finance and marketing. We don't have any IT right now. We have certainly, we're healthcare organizations, so any of the patient-facing roles, inpatient and outpatient, all sorts of opportunities there. CNAs, MAs. There's no end of opportunities. Really, we've got I think about 350 jobs open right now. So if
Oh,
anyone's interested, there's all kinds of jobs.
okay. Well, Kurt, thank you so much for coming on the show for
Thank you.
sharing. Sorry, go ahead.
I said thank you.
Ah, you're very welcome. Thank you for giving this a shot, for sharing your experiences, how you decided to specialize in recruitment because you wanted to make a difference in so many people's lives. Celebrating your team's wins, I'm pretty sure people who work with you consider you a thoughtful leader because at the end of the day, you do want to be with someone who celebrates your wins, who pursues you to make sure that you succeed in your career further. So thank you so much.
Thank you.